What's up guys, Houndish here, and today Destiny 2 has reset for the week. And so the portal looks nearly the same, but one of the standouts of course is heavy metal, so that is the new event for this week, dropping a couple of new weapons, as well as some cosmetics, and we'll talk about exactly what we can get, look at the event track, and a general overview for how this is going to work. Otherwise, for the weekly reset, we also have all of the vendor updates. We'll cover anything important or new in the portal, bonuses for the week, and we have a few other things to mention in the video. So, as always, I hope you guys find this one helpful, and if you do, a rating really does help me out on the channel down below. But now let's get into it. And so, initially, heavy metal is active this week. We get some new weapons and rewards. The weapons actually look pretty cool. We'll cover everything related to the new event in just a moment, but Bungie have also said this week no surges will be active in the portal, as it caused lockouts and other issues with portal scoring. So, it's going to be a pretty standard week in terms of other portal activities. I believe we're also still going to see the return of trials on the weekend. And then beyond that, next week on the 9th, we get Ash and Iron with the big update to portal rewards, as well as some new things being added there. Bungie actually have a reveal for Renegades just before Ash and Iron drops, so I think we're looking at probably getting a preview for the new content for Ash and Iron, and then a first look in more depth at the Renegades expansion itself. That'll be next Tuesday, right at the end of the Destiny week, I guess. But as always, when we get to that, I will be sure to keep you posted. Next up though, as we step into the game right now, we can see heavy metal is here. Brace yourselves for pure vehicular carnage, or poor vehicular carnage, I guess. How much does a Drake tank cost? I'm not really sure. Pretty basic this time though. The event home is actually housed in the portal. They didn't change the background to a giant flaming brig or anything like that, but easily accessible. And as Bungie mentioned, there are of course engrams, heavy metal engrams right here. We'll take a look. These have got tier 3 rewards in them, according to what we're previewing right here. Of course, that includes the sword. There is also the hollow foil variants of both of these weapons. We've discussed these a little bit recently, so I'll link a separate video down below with perk rolls and stuff like that. There is the emblem, heavier duty, which is actually quite a nice one. And then we can see tier 3 rolls of the hollow foils actually on the event track. So what is it? Rank 10 for the sword, rank 15 for the shotgun. The sword roll that we have right here is Sharp Harvest as well as Binary Orbit, which is a little bit of fun. For the shotgun though, what we got, Lead from Gold and Headstone. Give us your thoughts about those. Of course, we can get additional and probably better rolls by actually farming the weapons, and I assume they will be dropping from matches inside of heavy metal. Of course, we get all the weekly challenges and the dailies right here that drop the event tokens. We've got the Sparrow here at rank 14 as well, if you missed out on it previously, and it has combat controls, so it actually has weaponry equipped to it, which is pretty cool in concept. What else do we have with these event homes? We have, of course, the Play Now tab, and then there is the reward shop, where you can do all the kind of re-rolling and things like that. I've never really engaged with it massively. We can see from the heavy metal engram a tier 4 weapon or armor gear item available, and the reward tier is based on your Guardian rank, so my maximum reward tier here is 4. I think that's going to be the same for everyone at the current rate based on how it's set up. So the question really is, can we get tier 5 weapons randomly drop in from the actual end of match rewards potentially? We certainly hope that's the case, but I will keep you posted when I have a bit of time to further explore. For the moment, let us know if you'll be jumping into heavy metal. We've got Caldera back once again. I don't know why I'm surprised. There isn't actually that many to rotate through, but Caldera featured today for solo ops. In Pinnacle ops, we've got Bushido boots dropping from Encore. No Mint retrograde for the moment. That's probably mostly what a lot of players are going to be interested in. But there we go, a quick look at the portal. I should also mention Lord Shaxx does indeed have a quest, the Path of Demolition, available for heavy metal, so if you're going to be playing it, definitely visit Shaxx and pick that up. It might even give us some juicy rewards potentially. We'll take a quick look at the Eververse store as we fly into the tower. We've got the network Protocol. I couldn't say that correctly for a moment. Exotic emote from this season, which is nice to see, for 3,250 Bright Dust. Also, the new ornament for Conditional Finality, an exotic weapon which still escapes me at the moment, but kind of a nice one with the Trials theme on it. That's up for 1,250 Bright Dust on the very front page, which is interesting. There's also the Synthal exotic ship for 2,500 Bright Dust. And for our front page shaders, we got Seva Projection. On top of that though, we'll scroll back over to the Eververse store so I don't have to do loads of editing. Do apologise. For shaders, we have Apusmatism available this week. These cost 300 bright dust. Also on the front page is the Mistophosphor. Man, I'm really struggling today, which actually looks like an okay shader, also for the same cost. But to the main bright dust section over here, we have the Fort Me Time exotic emote for 3,250 bright dust. Another fairly elaborate one right there with a tent draped over some chairs, if you feel like it. We've got the helmet, though, from the Stasis set, available for 1,200 bright dust. Wow, they're really giving us all of the seasonal stuff. There is the dropped beach shell, having a bit of a rave right here. That one's up for 2,850 bright dust. Also, the Confidence of Command, the Zavala-themed ship, is up this week. That one is 2,000 bright dust. And then we've got One End, the exotic Spyro here, for 2,500 bright dust. Also from the Conditional Finality themed set. And then the Earth's Shadow, which is an ornament for Kvostov right here. Very reminiscent. Well, it's Leviathan themed, the Callus themed stuff from back in the day, which is pretty cool. That one's up for 1,250 bright dust. So overall, a good week for Eververse, I'd say. There is Metropolitan Acoustics for shaders on the second page featured, as well as Calco's Finery. All of these, once again, are 300 bright dust. Additionally, though, we have Oiled Gunmetal, and very finally, Royal Treatment available right there. Then there is the Cabal Arrival, Vex Arrival, and the Arsified Entrance Transmat effects. So there we go, that's the Eververse store. Let me know in the comment section any stuff you're excited to pick up. And like I said, a relatively good week in terms of the drops, so give me your thoughts below. Lastly, for our vendors and stuff though, we'll pay a visit to Shader 1 down here in the annex, see what shaders we've got available this week. So firstly, in terms of armor, there is the Prodigal set from back in the day if you wanted to add it to collections or anything. Otherwise, for shaders, it's Dark Omolon available this week, which is quite nice. These cost 10,000 glimmer. There's also the worn variant of the Echoes of Io, and finally the New Monarchy Allegiance if you're after any older faction shaders. For the moment, guys, that is what we have to round up. So let me know in the comment section, are you diving into heavy metal this week after any of the weapons or cosmetic rewards? I'd be curious to get your thoughts and experiences in the game mode down below. Otherwise, if you found this video useful, a rating really does help me out on the channel. And be sure as well to hit subscribe so that I can keep you posted with Bungie's updates and news, which this week will again focus on Ash and Iron and eventually the Renegades expansion. So should at least be an interesting week in terms of new info. But for the moment, cheers for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.